Hello, everyone. So, welcome to one more episode of 35 Times Live. We are live. Today, guys, I have like the pleasure to be with Giuseppe Zuccarro, aka Pepino. I swear, like, it's the first time that I say your name like this. So, can you say hi to everyone? Just say hi to the world, Pepe.
Hi guys, how you doing? I hope everything's good.
So everything that you are watching, like you can comment down like below what you will think about episodes. If you want like to do some question to Pepe and everything, bro. It's like we are here. It's a very big pleasure to have you here. Like
Thank
from
you.
the heart, you were like when
It's
I
a
was
pleasure. Me too. Like being here with you since like Lisbon time.
true. No,
We
it's
live
true,
the
and
great life
it
there.
was very important time in my life in general. You were a very important person in my life in general. I always bring like people that are important in my life, and I wanted like to invite you earlier, but we didn't like manage times, and you were like finishing like the university things, and as well like I was traveling, and even like the in August I was not present here in Luxembourg, so I was not developing the project. And just to tell one thing, like for the people that are watching right now the episodes, this is the episode 11, and the one before that you are watch like that you could watch on YouTube, it's the episode 9. Why? Because last week I did a first episode, and that episode I did like a special live episode, but it's just gonna stay live. Because I shared like some footages, nothing special. Like it was like moments with my grandma, and I want just like to that to be on the channel, and maybe like in the future, like when I have like episode 100, maybe I could release like episode 10.
Wow. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I think it's
You
a
are,
very
you
good
are,
idea.
you are
Like
great. You are great.
just like to have maybe like on the when I do like episode 100, I will interview my grandma in Portuguese and everything, or maybe earlier, and I will put like that episode live. I will see how am I gonna do.
I have a surprise for you. 1 second.
Okay,
I
okay.
I thought like only now I thought about it.
Okay, so no, that's very good. That's the first time that I have in podcast the surprise. So like people Pepe already knows. Oh, you already have it. Okay, that's very cool. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I count like three us two. We are five unicorns right now. It's very cool.
Unicorns. The story only has we know.
Now the story only has that's true. Like so, just like explaining a little bit the project, and next we are going like to introduce you, Pepe, like for the people that you already know, like the project, like this project, but I like just to tell like this like 35 times life. Why 35? Because I'm gonna do 30 minutes of questions to Pepe. After he's gonna do 5 minutes of questions to me, times life, because like the questions are always about philosophical, they are always philosophical questions. I try like to speak about love, happiness, positivity, a little bit of personal life, and the goal of this project is like first is connect me with the people, with my friends, people that I like, and helps me like to brace to break this big distance that we have, because right now I'm in Luxembourg and Pepe's in Italy, and and I feel that some of the questions I already maybe like done, but I like the answers. Others I never done, and I think like it's very good to chill, and I want like to as well, like my main goal with this is like try to help someone, like someone that is more down, or that maybe like feels that is not comprehended by anyone. Maybe one of the stories could be yours that are gonna be here. Like maybe the personality could be yours. You can like fit with one of my friends or one of the people that I bring here. And yeah, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. You can like, subscribe the channel, and you follow me on Instagram. TikTok is having some problems, but you can see like everything down here. So yeah, let's go like to the conversation. I'm speaking a lot, Pepin. You're not speaking anything because I'm just introducing this, but like
You need to
you
go
touched on.
ahead. It's your podcast.
No, yeah, but it's just like to give like a little bit of feedback for the people that are here. Like we are, I was checking the chat. Like, do we already have people like commenting? I love you guys on the chat. Thank you for that. And basically, like I met Pepino in 2023. I don't remember if it was end of August or already beginning of September.
It was the beginning of September
Okay,
because
because it was
we
like
get
3 of September, right?
so actually I arrived in Lisbon the 29th of August 2023. But first thing, I say a bit of introduction about who I am and how we met each other. First of all, I want to say hi to Giovanni Genovese and to Face. I'm super happy that you are watching right now. I say hi, a big kiss to you. And so I will talk about just a little insight before I introduce how we met each other and how everything started. So, like, I need to say a lot of things, but of course I cannot say it. So I will try to keep in mind the most important part in my life and to give you an overview of what I lived and what I need to do to become who I am today. So everything started like in 2000, end of 2021, when I did a series of some bad choice in my life, but more about bad choice. I was more like on the impulsive side. So I was doing too many things together. I had situational things. I had some keeps in mind. Like I was also doing some investing in my life, and in a moment where I thought that I got everything in my life, suddenly I lost everything. And that was very bad because, when you reach a point where you think that you are good enough, but in just one moment, life gets you everything. And so it keeps you saying, what did I do wrong? So, what did I do? I need to improve myself? Maybe. So, every time I felt down, I always found a way of trying myself to push me up. I was also going around with my friends. I was also going out and hang out with them. But I saw them like in a way of I was feeling very bad in that period of time, like it's early 2022. So when I was with my friends, I said, what do I need to do to not only improve myself as a man and to overcome my difficulties I encountered in my life, but also how can I help my friends, my brothers, to become a better group and to become myself a better friends to be with. So from 2022 to almost today, so almost 3.5 years, it has been
True.
a journey of rediscovering my life. I think in those 4 years almost, I changed life at least 4 times. So once a year, I find myself in a way that I could not even express. So first, it was to give me myself a symbol. So in 2022, I started to read a lot of books, and I ended that year reading around 35 books. So at least like almost one book per week. And once I finished reading, I also getting very insights on understanding myself and how can I be a better communicator. Because I was looking at the world in a way that why there is so much pain around my friends, in particular young men that want to improve themselves and they want to make better world. So it was so strange that all my friends that were actually doing good in the world, they were living in a bad mentality way because they were almost punished to be who they were the authenticity they had was not rewarded. So I knew that inside myself I wanted to be more. I wanted to surpass my limits. But I also said, let's be open to everything. In 2023, almost the end of 2022, starting of 2023, I had some series of events happening in my life, also becoming more assertive and also become more oriented in my goals. And I discovered the program of Lisbon, the double degree. So I said to myself, I think it's a fantastic opportunity to understand the world and to make myself a better person. But I always had this way of living life to always push myself to the limits. So not everybody knows about this, about my life. But in that way, in 2020, I had a very bad injury in my forearms. In particular, I have a tendinopathy in both
Okay.
of my arm, and it was almost excruciating that at 19 years old you could live with this. But the thing is that the doctor, they don't know how to cure me, and they didn't know what to do. But I always believed that I could do something more. So even if I had very pain in my arms, I continued to go into the gym, continue to push myself, because my goal was to becoming part of the Ironman, the triathlon competition.
Okay.
So I understood that if my arms could not even work good, I could still run. I could still have the determination to push myself with my legs. So I started to train a lot, but unfortunately, I got an injury in my legs and I had plantar fasciitis. And
Oh,
this, yeah, 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 yeah.
that
And
that
so,
hurts a lot. I heard that as well.
yeah, so I had this period of my life where I had literally all the forearms injured, and this is very little details that not so many people knows. But this thing really touched me how to be humble. When I first introduced myself, the first thing I said is that I had everything, I didn't know that I was happy, and then I lost everything. And so again, always trying to push myself, I had like a profound crisis on who I am, why did I injure it twice, both of my arms and both of my legs. So when I won the double degree, I pushed myself to the point of, okay, I lived all of this situation, all this hardship in my life. I need to believe there is something more. I need to believe that there is something outside of my life, in particular, something that I cannot even understand, that is looking at me and is want me to push myself and to become a better man. If I didn't had all those problems, all those trials, the hero can be still defined as a hero. We imagine Hercules as the man who pushed himself and to fight all the monster about all the life that he pushed to become the greatest of all time. Hercules is still remembered as the greatest. But if he didn't have all those trials, what he needed to do? Imagine, I always thought about this. So if Hercules didn't have all those hardship in his life, he could still enjoying his life by laying in his bed. He was so happy. Maybe he was waking up at 5 p.m., getting drunk every day. And so the image of we know about Hercules doesn't exist. So Hercules become Hercules by his trials, by all the things that he lived, and he pushed himself to become the greatest of all time because he never said, I'm tired. When he had everything to say, okay, maybe I can stop, he had all the excuse to stop. But he decided to fight everything and everyone to save what he thinks for him is purpose. So, what is the purpose in life? The purpose in life is something greater that only know he knows.
Wait,
Not,
just one thing. Don't go
yeah,
for that because I
yeah,
want
yeah,
like to do questions
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
okay, 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 okay. So I'm going to be very direct. So from all those things, I got in Lisbon with the idea that I needed to create something. I arrived in Lisbon saying, okay, I lived all this. I need to create something for the people so they will not live what I lived in those years with all the injuries, all the trials, all the situation that I don't want to say now because it's very personal. But I thought to myself, I want to create a better community around myself. I want to give the person the opportunity to have a place to be comfortable and to be authentic. So in that way, I arrived in Lisbon with the idea I need to create something. I need to I need to let people be themselves so they can feel that there is something in the world. There is just one crazy person that they can understand. So I had this environment when I arrived in Lisbon. I had very long hair. I had curly hair, blonde hair. So I changed a lot. Like we had a lot of things that we need to to
True.
say.
No, basically we changed hair because like my hair
Yeah,
was super
like we
short,
changed hair. We exchanged my hair to you and your hair to me.
but now I have your
So
hair. It's here
yeah.
because
So
it
when
was
I arrived in
blonde. You
Lisbon,
you were like blondie as well.
yeah. So when I arrived in Lisbon, the first thing I said at the 29th of August, that it was the birthday of my mom, was, how can this year be the best year of my life? How can I improve the life of people and at the same time I improve my life so much that I become a better man? So everything started when the 1st of September, I arrived in Lisbon and the house was empty. There was still even me. My flatmates were not present. So the thing that I thought about myself, say, wow, I can make a lot of friends in those days because I don't know if my flatmates will share the idea of getting all this authentic way of living life. So I said, let's make friends in those days and let's see what happens. From between the 29th of August to the 1st of September, I said to myself, I want to surpass my own limits that I had in Palermo. And to do this, I'm going to approach 10 people a day, every day, because I wanted to push myself in the social situation to improve really and to be in an uncomfortable situation, not comfortable. So staying quiet is good, but if you stay quiet, you are going to miss the most of out of your life. We always think that we are going to be happy when we are going to have money, we are going to be more when we achieve this, but why we cannot enjoy the present? So if I met a fantastic person, why don't I need to approach them? I need to introduce myself as the best person and in the best way possible to show myself really. And so what happened in Lisbon is that I met those fantastic person that this there were some guys initially, but the first person initially was Flo, a French guy.
Hmm.
With Flo, we met this girl called Ines, and we met also the Italian friends. Imagine that was I think, the 1st of September. And while we were speaking, they said, okay, we want to make something together. We want to make great things. Why we don't go out? We do that, we do this. I said, guys, I have in my house a barbecue. Why we don't do a barbecue in my house the 3rd of September? And they said, wow, that's a fantastic idea. But you live with someone? No, I live alone, so we can enjoy more. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So this girl, Ines, created the group chat called Pepino
Pepino
BBQ.
BBQ.
Initially, we were just 5 people. So I thought, okay, 5 people is good because the grill was very, very small. But then he started to implement, and a friend said, can I invite you guys? Yes, yes, you can go. A girl said, can I invite my colleague? Yeah, yeah, you can. Then Flo said, can I invite my flatmates? Okay, from 5 people, we became 21. And
You still
so,
have photos of that, right?
yeah, I have everything. So from that
That's
moment,
very
everything
good.
changed. because all the purpose I had in my mind to improve the community, to give the possibility to the person to become
Develop.
better, happened in that moment. So, in the believing that you can improve so much, so much, so much, life will give you a way to test you. And that was my way. And that days it was super busy because I wanted to make sure everyone could enjoy. So what is Pepino BBQ? Pepino BBQ was just a grill with friends, but then it started to become more a social gathering, and then from a social gathering we become 20. Then the second we were 18. The third there was also my flatmates. We become 45. The fourth we were 70. And so in each shift from just a barbecue that we didn't even do barbecue because the grill was very small,
True.
to an actual community of people. That was my goal since the starting of my
The
before the
project.
journey of Lisbon. So what I thought about me is that I said, I will really, I'm really giving my best. I'm really living the best of what I can do and give to the others. I didn't know. I never had the answer. I just let the flow go. So in that period of time, there were a lot of people that were trying to mock me down, saying, "No, you do this party because you do that, you do this." But it was September, not even 3 weeks that I was in Lisbon, and we were already created a super strong community.
Sorry, I just remember
Yeah,
because
yeah, you can. And in that moment, I said, "What? What is this fantastic environment I found about people?" I met you, Philip,
yeah,
in Erasmus Corner. And I remember that we met in a very strange way because you were with some ESN friends.
I was with V,
Yeah, with V.
with
Yeah, yeah.
Valentin. Yeah, V.
I remember we met at K Urban. K Urban we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just by the
And that
way, like
was,
a very big hug for V that is watching us right now for sure, or that will watch.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Sorry, continue. Like we were in K Urban.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like in K Urban, and
That's it. Like
in
bro,
K
like he
Urban,
came and he
we
introduced me
so
to
and
you and
it was instantly understanding situation, and that we could do something together. I saw you as a partner since the beginning, a friend. And more like I saw this environment of Pepino Barbecue, a way where you could contribute in the journey about what were you living. I remember everything that from the beginning we shared a lot of things. So from that moment, the Pepino Barbecue started to grow from just a social gathering about people to a more formal event. In particular, I remember the Halloween night where my neighbors Shang, where I still love him for what he did. He gave his house to me, and he said, "If you want to make a party, if you want to," because I explained all the living and all the party opportunity, saying, I'm not making parties just to make parties. I just want to give a place where people could express themselves, to be authentic. In that way, I met some fantastic person that I say hi in this moment. Simon, Federico, Alessandro. Like Alessandro is my friend from Palermo, and you know, in that moment, I said, I do something not for myself, but to push myself to become a better person. I inspire the people to be better than me, to be more happier, to be happier. Because when you were leaving the Pepino barbecue, you were a guest, imagine, at the Halloween party. We were 150. I don't remember that you were there. Maybe you came. I cannot hear you.
sorry, I was saying
Yeah,
that I was not on
yeah,
that party.
yeah. In January, you were at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah, yeah, at this the seven.
yeah. I was that. That was my first. That was my
Yeah,
first.
at the seven.
No,
When you
I
were
could. I
there,
had like something like I couldn't go like to that fun, like
yeah,
to.
when you were there at that party, the thing is that I wanted to make sure everyone had an opportunity to express the way that they were living Lisbon, because not so many people knows, but when you had the experience of Erasmus, sometimes you go from the comfort zone of your city, your little village, to moving in a different country where you don't know anybody. So what is the best thing that can happen to you, or the worst thing that can happen to you? The sociality. Everything comes back always to, do I have some friends that I can really count? So imagine all the person that were arriving in Lisbon. I saw with my eyes that they did had friends. They did more like friends. They did had a place where they could feel they were getting people and to understand, to know. I remember I met this Brazilian guy. I don't want to say the name. This guy was arriving in Lisbon. He arrived in Lisbon in January, and I remember that when he arrived, nobody knows him. I met him in a Erasmus corner. So for the people that they don't know, Erasmus corner is a place where it's like a street with a full of pubs and bars where you can drink and share a beer with your friends. And usually it's the place where Erasmus people met in the night. So you
Because
met
it's
a lot
called
of,
Erasmus Corner.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like Erasmus corner. Felipe was the main organization, was like the main planner for the parties.
ESN, yeah, I was part of
I don't
ESN.
remember if you were that night, but we met this guy with another guy, and I was looking at him that he was alone in the corner. And so, for the philosophy of making friends and to getting part of the community, I saw him that he was drinking alone. And at the moment, I said, that guy could be me. When I arrived in Lisbon, I didn't know anybody. I arrived like a crazy guy with full of dreams, full of ambition to create something, but I didn't know what. So when I saw that guy, that Brazilian guy, I approached him and I asked him, "Hi, what are you doing? Where are you from?" So we had a really fantastic conversation where he explained me that we were studying in Brazil, but he needed to move in Lisbon. But he has been in Lisbon at that time for 3 weeks. He didn't know anybody. So I said, "Why you don't join the Pepino BBQ? I think it's the greatest place where you can make friends, where you can be yourself." That guy was very skeptical, and he said, "I don't know, because I'm a very shy guy. I'm very quiet. I don't know." And I said, "If you prefer to stay alone, I let you alone. But if you have the opportunity to just live a different night in a 1 month, you can just join and you see how is the environment." So this Brazilian guy came, and that night, I think in January, he had one of the greatest nights in his life. He told me the day after. And for me, seeing him after 2 weeks, that he from did had any friends, no, not any people that he could count on, from having a lot of people going around, a lot of Brazilian guy. There was also Gabi.
Vitor.
There was also at that time Ale dancing. Yeah, yeah. Like we were a fantastic community, and so the idea of making people part of the community of something greater, it was like the main dream. And so in that moment, in just a moment of living, I understand that the focus was achieved. And so the way that I was living life, yeah, I had like a crisis of double identity because everybody told me, you are too crazy, you are too eccentric, why you are living life like this? But my main idea was to live my life so much in an authentic way that all the people that they didn't like me, they were not going to really like me. They were almost going to hate me. And then all the people that they were liking me from the beginning, they were almost loving me for who I am. So to live your life in the most extreme way of authenticity, you are going to have a very polarizing effects between people they don't understand you, the crazy Pepino, and the people that can see behind the crazy Pepino. And there is a guy that has a dreams to create a community to make the world a better place, to improve the sociality and to fight the loneliness about people. So I
Let
don't want to say a lot of things, but I just say the last thing. For me, this journey, it has been more like I call it the metamorphosis. Because the metamorphosis, what is it? The usually in Italy we call the il bruco.
okay.
So
What's that? Bruco? I don't know.
I this
You are translating for English. What is Bruco?
caterpillar,
What?
the caterpillar.
Okay, okay. That's like the machine from that like
Yeah.
takes.
So the caterpillar becomes with the
Ah,
chrysalides.
caterpillar. Okay, I know what you are
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Sorry, it says
With
that.
the chrysalides, it becomes the butterfly.
Okay, okay.
And so this is a way of thinking that there is always a period of your life where you need to understand yourself better so you can fly higher. So this is the way of per aspera ad astra. To push yourself harder, you reach the stars. But you reach the stars not for the sake of reaching your goal, but for the journey that you had, that you from beginning that you are a caterpillar, you became a butterfly. So it's not the destination itself, the Pepino barbecue, but it was all the people I know, all the friends we made each other, and you, Felipe. I think not so many people knows, but you were one of my most and biggest pillar in my journey in Lisbon. You were the guy who gave me the possibility and gave us the community of Pepino Barbecue the chance to make the biggest party at that time, Pepino Barbecue XESN. And it was just you way. You pushed so much to say to me, we need to do a collaboration together. We need to do something together. And so I want to really express that in my journey, I had so many fantastic friends that if I didn't have the chance to live my life so much authentic, I don't think I could met in such deep way you. And so I think the journey is the biggest thing that you can enjoy in life because the destination, yes, everything will be we can reach the goals, we can make monies, we can have some goals in our sentimental way of living life, but in the process about that you reach the goals, I think is the most important thing that you need to consider. And so yeah, yeah,
No, no.
I think
I was saying that.
not too much.
No, no. But it was good that you are like touching in very good points because like what you are saying, it's something that I'm defending like since like the other streams ago. That's like I think like we connect so well because like we see like the life in the same way. Like for me, like it's a marathon. It's not a run. Like we don't need to arrive. We need like to enjoy while we are running. We need to have like force to run more, because you have a lot of people that are running thinking about the end, that sometimes they die in the middle, or they just don't appreciate the middle. Like I think like when you are running a marathon, I think the of course like you like one thing is like you are overcoming yourself, but as well like you are running in a place like you have like things around that normal like you don't see or that you don't give like a value. Of course like you are more tired and you have like more blood circulating on your body, but you can see like for example I was thinking like about like the marathon in Lisbon, like the 25th of April like the marathon on the bridge, you know, like you are just like passing on the bridge. It's like something different that you've never done, or just like a simple marathon, a normal marathon. You pass by places that you don't pass by, and I think that's the beautiful part of a marathon. Like the same with life, you know, like sometimes in life we just need to pass by beautiful situations, by beautiful places, and yeah, the goal is not is the goal is at the end, but enjoying the journey, it's very pleasant. It's not just arrive, it's arriving with style. It's know how to arrive. And
Yeah,
I think like it was a very big introduction but I think like people like can know more about you, but I still um, came here like I was like when I invited you for this conversation. I told you that I just don't want to speak with Pepino. I want to speak with Giuseppe. And maybe like I'm gonna like right now like I'm gonna like start with the questions and everything. And I already understood like and everyone understood how do you reach Pepino, but I think no one knows how was Pepino before or who is Giuseppe because as you said like when you were speaking that for example like the parties they were like you just do the parties like for the fame, you just do the parties for this. And yeah, it's true, like they don't have a like a clear image of who you are, that you are more than the guy that was organizing parties, like that you are more just that than like philosophical, like that you
yeah,
overcome that, you know. And I had like the pleasure of sharing like a very it was a very hard period of my life, like in general, but it was a pleasure to share it with you because it was very good to share it with you because yeah, the moment that I need like more the right people, you were there and you were the right people like to be with me, you know. And I like I feel that a lot of people like they just want like the good moments. And right now like I think I want the moments, even like the bad ones, like I because in fact like, it was a bad moment for me, but it was an awesome moment in general, you know. If you're not there it will be like so much worse. So like I started like to give more value to you, and we had like the opportunity like to private more, and you helped me a lot on that not. And I'm not talking just talking about the parties, I'm talking like about like the time that we spent together. It was like very good quality time, and it's one thing that I like on you. It's like that you like to have quality time, more than being here. For example, like one thing that you do, it's like when you ask someone if he's okay, you can notice that you are asking, when you are asking me how are you okay, like you want to know how am I. It's not just because everyone says it. And I feel that is very good and I appreciate it that a lot. So I'm gonna start with the questions. The time will start after my first question, and I'm gonna go like for I want like to understand like a little bit of your childhood and personality. Okay, so like
yeah.
my first question is like always like something simple, that is like, remember, after you have 30 minutes, 30 minutes to answer everything. So I'm just gonna ask you, how was it growing up in Italy? Your time starts now.
So, where can I start? I need to say a lot of things because my childhood has been very good. I really enjoyed living in my childhood, but of course, I had a lot of challenge in my life growing up. Maybe I don't want to push in the for the like the enemy for the environment, because I don't want to say that Palermo, the city where I'm from and the city where I grew up, is a bad environment. I just want to say that Palermo has his own peculiarities. It is one of the best city I've seen so far in my life. Maybe I will have some bias saying this, but I really enjoy Palermo for the cultural and also for the city itself. But for the social point of view, I think Palermo is more structured in a class way. So if you want to have that type of friends, you need to be more that type of person. You need to be more superficial, for example. If they enjoy to do that thing, you need to do that type of things. You need to act in that specific way. You need to do that things. And I didn't really enjoy to be more on the mainstream, to be like everybody. So since I've been a child, I've been always in the way of saying, I want to be myself. So since I've been 12 or 13, maybe it can be very hard, but I said to me, I need to be always with my own value because I feel, and this thing I learned when I was like 14 years old, I can lose everything. In life, I can lose my family, I can lose my money, I can lose everything that I got. But one thing that I will never lose is me.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you are your own project, you the biggest project that you are going to work in your life. So the best thing that you can do is to make sure you know yourself and you understand what you want and who you are and how you want to have that type of relationship with the world. And so for me, going back to the question, was very hard growing up in this environment because at 14, 15, people usually start to smoke. You want to try to smoke cigarettes. You want to live life not in the way that I expressed myself in Lisbon. That was more authentic, eccentric way. This was more like trying to be that person to act cool. So maybe that friend accept you in the group chat, maybe with the cool girls. So you have all that friends. I didn't really like it. So since the beginning, my biggest challenge was to establish myself. It's a very very difficult thing. It's very easy to say, but it's very hard when you need to understand that when you have all your friends that they start to smoke and they start to push you to become like them, you feel that way saying, no, I don't want to do this. So or you accept your friend for who they are and they do the same for you, or simply you stay alone. So I had the opportunity to make a lot of friends in my childhood, but imagine that out of 100 person, being so much authentic, you know 100 person, but then you become friends with maybe 5 or 6 friends. So I since I was a child, I've had very great friends where I could count on. But the price that you pay for your authenticity is very high, very very high. The only thing I could permit myself to do was to try to drink. So there was a period of my life between 16 and 17 years old where I tried to drink. Just for the case, I didn't start drinking easy. I started to drink very hard. I started to drink with Asensio. Asensio, I don't know if English is said like this, is almost 19% of concentration of alcohol. It's very, very strong. And
I
so
don't know
imagine
that.
at 16 where you start to drink the first beer, maybe you act cool to impress the girls and to make yourself appear with your friends. There is a way of destroying your body that is not cited so much. So when I was 17, I felt some problem in my stomach because I was drinking so much. So there was like a period where I was so authentic and I say no to almost everything, to alcohol, to smoking, to be a bad person. I always wanted to make groups. I was making parties. I've been always an eccentric guy. So if you knew me or if you knew me 10 years ago, I think I'm always the crazy Peppino, the crazy more Giuseppe. Peppino was not born. But I was so much confident on the way I was doing things that if I wanted to say no, it was no. I tried to drink alcohol to try if maybe I was missing something out of my life. I drank for almost 1.5 years. But after that period, I understood that alcohol was not for me. So at 17, I stopped to drinking, and the life I had in Lisbon was so much interesting because all the person were asking me, so you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't drink coffee, because I don't drink coffee, and you can make all this party without drinking and dancing so much. I think you are crazy.
I think
I
you are crazy.
I not understand how you can do this alone. Of course, I had a lot of person that I could count on, but when you live life so much intense, people start to doubt about your own identity. So there was some person that were saying, "No, you are fake.
You
You drink, you smoke." I said, "What? I'm just me. Like, I had all this childhood. So imagine it, living in this environment where almost 19% of your friends drink and smoke. So I arrived in Lisbon with thinking about how all these things affected my life. And so I said, if I live this, now I need to create a community where people can feel home.
hmm
So, in particular, the only word I want to say, and then we go to the next question, is that I was searching the hero to came and to save my life. But then what I said is that why I cannot be the hero in my stories and I have others. So it was a shift from I want to receive help to saying I'm going to be a better person so I can help others. So it's a very, very hard thing. I want to say in a very humble way, not for, of course, exaggerating, but it was very hard to go in Lisbon from being nobody to create parties to from an organization of 15 people to make a party with you with 700 guys and person. It was the goal to create something together. And so this was the goal to also the end of the Pepino barbecue was like the a person told me that the Pepino barbecue journey was almost Breaking Bad because it has started explosive and it has ended in explosive way. So it is always been going up, never going down. So in the end, what gives us the way of saying I want to push myself is the other people to become a better member of the community. This
but
is what I'm thinking.
no, it's very you touch like in a very good point that you were saying that you were helping people like with your parts and everything. And in fact, I don't know if a lot of people know it, but the like the merchandising that you were doing like with the community, you had like you donate like some of the gains. I
Yeah,
don't know, some or all of the gains. I know
I
that
donated all the gains.
all the gains you donate all the gains
Yeah,
to
yeah. I,
men's health
yes,
institution.
yes. So we after the Pepino barbecue ESN party, I wanted to give us the last chance to people to understand that there is hope in the world. And if they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, together we can achieve it. So always to have so much stronger belief in yourself, so much belief that in the end everything will work out, that this opinion about yourself will become reality. And so, if with great work you can reach the stars, we can make it together. And so, we donated 150 euros to Men's Mental Health Association with Pepino Barbecue
No,
t-shirt.
but no, yeah, it was
And
crazy.
also, yeah, it was also for the women's mental health because I wanted to make an inclusive approach. So also women could feel inside the organization to feel that they are not lonely. And it was not mainly for the men. That I donated with my own money $150 to women's mental health.
I
So we
don't know about
donated
it.
almost around $300 between men's and women's mental health association.
But no, and it's very funny as well. Like the you did another campaign that was like for people like to don't like to it was like fighting against DSTs, like against disease that were
Sex,
sexually,
yeah,
yeah.
sex disease, yeah.
Basically, like you had like condoms with your face on the
Yeah, I
on.
donated like with GAT Portugal, that is an organization that works with young people. They were promoting that time the sexual health among young people, and in particular, I said, if I did all those things, I think the last thing I can give to my community before I go burn out is to give an impact in the way that they approach their love in the generic topic. So I went to Get Portugal. I introduced myself with all Pepino BBQ group, all the documents with ESN, and they said that they wanted to collaborate with us. So they gave us I think 800
Yeah, it was
condoms,
crazy. It was crazy number.
700 or 800 condoms. I still have now.
No, of course. Like if
I still
I
have
swear,
now.
like no, the crazy number. I swear, like. But my question is like, you were doing like things for the others, like of course, like for you, like to have your moment to be more authentic. But at the same time, like you are donating all the money, like to help like the others, and I wanted like to know where is that coming from? Where is like that initiative? Where is it coming from? You know, like like you already like spoke about like your life experience and everything, but
Yeah.
how do you
So
still
that
have
is
like
very
the
great
energy to do
question.
that?
Yeah, that's a very great question. Because as I said, in my childhood, I had very beautiful moments. I had very beautiful people to share with it. But I had a very strong life experience. To choose your own path and to say no to everybody else is a very anti-mainstream thing to do, anti-social way to do things. So you accept just your own authenticity and you let only the people that understand your vision in your life is a very, very difficult. So since I've been a kid, I've been always a creative person. I always wanted to, I always thinking, oh, I could make a film or I could do some movies. So, oh, could I be a script writer? So I always make thinking, oh, I could make this. In Lisbon, I had my best opportunity to show my my creativity with
Yeah.
all the videos that I wanted to. I wanted to do provocative videos so that people understand that there was a crazy person that were going against all the rules and he was not willing to give up so he could achieve all the dreams he had.
Okay.
And so the idea to donate the money is like, I think in my position, people said to me, why you just could not take for yourself your money? $300. Why you need to give it? I understand maybe the total donation of the t-shirt that still now, if you search pepinobarbecue.com, you find the website.
Okay.
But I cannot understand the women's mental health. Why you donated with your own pocket money $150? And they said, because I believe in a better world. I believe that if we contribute together in this environment and if we work together to build a better future, one thing is to say it. You know, people always say, no, the future is going to be bad, the future is going to be that, the future. I always say, to hardship reach the stars. So you believe in yourself that the best thing they are arriving. This moment is already the best thing to do, but the future will give us the possibility to enjoy more. So if you really believe that something good is going to arrive, something good will arrive. So I really believe that the idea of karma, you know,
Yeah.
you give to the world will give it back. But you don't need to think that you are going to receive back just for the sake of receiving back. You need to be living your life in your own values, your own authenticity. With you living your life, life will move so you can achieve your goals. So So since I've been in Lisbon, my goal was to make a social impact. I said that in the introduction I want to make a contribution to the people. So to make the donation was the biggest achievement I could do.
Okay.
So people understand that together we can make an impact. We donated this money to mental health association and women's mental health association, also condoms mental health association. So we made 100% aspect on promoting sexual, social way with Pepino BBQ and also mental health way, inclusive and 360 degrees.
And like one of the things that I feel is like we are speaking a lot like about of this eccentric side. I think they don't like I said that people don't know like so much about like your Giuseppe side. I want like to ask you if like the eccentric side hides a more mature and ground Giuseppe. Do you feel that?
It's a very great question. You know, people they don't understand me, and that's okay. That's fantastic. Because if they don't understand you, you have the chance to live your life according to yourself, not to anybody else. So every opinion that you had before about what this person might think about me, what this guy thinks, no, I just live my life in my own values. So if I live my life with my own values, life will say, okay, everything will be good. So the idea of Pepino is like an alter ego, like Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
That's a very great question because I dressed as as Batman for the
Erasmus.
carnival party, and the idea was just this because people they don't understand the idea. But that video was to show the double identity, more than the double identity, but the eccentric way of my life that I can be the most extreme person, so Peppino, the alter ego of Batman, but I can also be Giuseppe, that is the real me, more philosophical, more reflective, more myself, according to myself. So I'm more Bruce Wayne in that sense. So behind Peppino is just a person who wants to be the real one. I always lived my life thinking that authenticity will be just okay. I said no to every other things, and I was happy with that. I never cared about oh this person, oh this action will say this. If I live my life according to myself and I'm happy and I make a positive impact in my social community, what can go wrong? So behind Pepino is just a small kid who always wanted to help people. Always, I always had this idea of wanted to helping everybody. If I could have the chance, I want to help everybody, and that was Pepino Barbecue. It was like my own extension. So I cared a lot about Pepino Barbecue. Pepino Barbecue was my own way to help people and to make a community. So I was pushing myself to the limits. I was working for the Pepino Barbecue 12 hours a day. And the margin was very low. So it was not even for the margin of earning monies. It was for the making something bigger, something that then in 40 years, 50 years, you will remember in life. And you will tell to your grandchildren, maybe you to your children, what you did in
Yeah.
your life. It's like the dad cool stories.
And it's very funny because like we are speaking like about life, living the life, and you are like referring so much the word life, and I just want to ask you, what is life?
Wow. So that's a very good question. What is life? Life, I think we give life meaning. So life, if we need to be very brutally, maybe this is the first time I say it in public because people always know the happy, positive Pepino. They maybe don't know the real philosophical concept. I will say it very clear. Life has no own values. It has no values. Life itself is nothing. Like, if you think we are just a body living for almost 80 to 90 years, if we are lucky, and then we became just dust. So the point what is of life? We are an extremely lucky event in the history of the universe that we are alive today. So the thing that we need to understand is that this philosophical way of seeing life, I always cited Nietzsche with Zarathustra.
Ooh,
Why I always
nice.
cite this? Because Nietzsche said that life has no meaning. But if we have the courage to look in the abyss, we have the chance to create our own meaning of life. So we decide what life has the meaning. We decide the values. We decide what has meaning. What we decide what we want to do. That's the very beautiful thing of life. If nothing really matters, then I can be everything. I can choose to be the most happiest person in my life. I can decide to help the most people. I can decide to live Pepino. I can decide to be Giuseppe. I can decide to work. I can do everything. So if you understand this really simple concept, life has no meaning. You decide your own meaning. You decide your own story. You are the writer, and you are at the same time the main character of your life.
Uh,
This is my opinion.
no, that's very good. That's very good answer.
Yeah.
And
I always think like there is a question that I read in the YouTube. What today Giuseppe will say to the past Giuseppe?
I was no, but wait, because like I want to do that after.
Okay,
Let me do because like so
okay,
normally
okay,
what
okay.
I do is like I do my questions after you do me your questions 5 minutes and after I ask like for the chat. I already saw that. That's a very good question. I
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah,
I saw it.
yeah.
I noted. I had it here. I had it here. Like to do it after,
Okay,
like,
go
and
ahead.
I'm gonna. Of course, I'm gonna present who is gonna do it. But it was very good question. But I was checking that like for after my questions like the I just like uh, one of the things that you told me like in Lisbon as well like when I was passing bad like I was like deciding my future what I wanted you always said that you need to see yourself in 5 years to know what you want to
Yeah,
achieve and my question is like where do you see yourself in 5 years.
that's a you are making a very great question.
You're
Yeah,
always that's a very
yeah.
good question.
No, because you understand the difference between the character Peppino and Giuseppe. When we were talking in Lisbon, I always said all those things that passed in my mind to you. And so I'm super happy that you remember all those insights and all those curiosity about Giuseppe Peppino. So in 5 years, I would like to contribute in the world in a very ambitious way. I write a lot. People maybe don't know, but I read a lot and also write a lot. My goal was to I make a big spoiler. I wanted to write a book about my journey. So because I understand that a podcast can be very good to be also in contact with the person and the audience that they listen, but they don't understand that the little insights, the challenge that you had. So maybe one day I will write a book. And in 5 years, I would like to first thing to help back my family. That's like in this moment my biggest goal. I always think about this. Always, even in Lisbon, I told you that my biggest goal in life and the biggest achievement I could ever have, more than become the president of Portugal, of making the biggest party with you, more than everything. If I can give it back to the person that loved me when nobody were almost going out, that's everything. Because I think the person that you share your life with are the best indicator of who you become in your life. So it's very important to be around person that they love you and you know they love you. So you need to love them and they love you. So you know that somebody will always be there with you. The problem is when you don't have nobody. And that's the shame. So I think the biggest support I had in my life, the biggest person that I always take inspiration to this person is my mom. Always. So Pepino in reality is just a little version of his mom. Is, I think 10 times more authentic, 10 times more crazier, 10 times more eccentric than me.
Oh,
My mom
yeah.
like, as gave me the possibility to be myself, you know. So when you said the question, I wanted to go here. When you asked me the question, oh, you had all those questions, oh, you have all these creativities, because I took it from my mom. My mom
Okay.
is like my biggest inspiration in my life. I think this. So in 5 years, I would like to have a social impact, and then I would like to travel the world, so I can understand better the world how it works. After, of course, helping my family, and then I would like to just live a simple life. Yeah, maybe if I could achieve something greater, that's good. I can have an impact in the world to help other people. That could be amazing if they understand my vision and my goals. But the biggest indicator of the value of a man, I think it has on the impact he left on the people.
On the
I
planet.
can do everything. I can earn thousands of money, but what in 5, 10 times generation, nobody will remember your names except maybe if you are Julius Caesar or if you are Napoleon. But even that names one day will fade away. So the only thing that will stay forever is the impact you leave in the person. So to leave an impact in the world is my final response.
And it's you were speaking about your mother. You were speaking a lot about love as well. And I just wanted like to ask you, what do you think love plays in your life? The role of love in your life. Sorry, what do you think about the love in your life? Like how love, like what is the role of
Yeah,
love in your life? Sorry, like I was
yeah, yeah.
messing
I
up the
understand. I
question.
understand the question. For me, love is part of my life. Like I think is one of my biggest pillar I have. I always think about how can maybe I always said that I give love because someone gave me so much love, so much influence on me that now that just the bare minimum I can do is to give my 100%. And I always said my mom loved me when almost everybody was living my life. And if I'm the person who I am today, is because of my mom. So the love your mom gave you in your childhood influence a lot about you or will you become in your life. So for me, love is everything. I started my life in love. I always give love to my friends. I almost, maybe I try to give it because one thing is the intentional, another thing is the results. But for the day of Pepino BBQ, everything was love, always to push people to be the best version of themselves so they could enjoy life more. What's the goal of life? The goal of life is to live in a state of flow where you are in deep connection with yourself and the people that you love.
Okay.
So the thing that we always think, okay, I have this stress, I have that, I always think, but in Indonesia or Philippines or in Africa or in Latin America or maybe a person that was not lucky because I feel a very individual, very lucky person that since the beginning of my life I've been always loved, maybe in different ways, in different period of my life, but I always felt that someone was loving me. But I think the person that maybe doesn't have this chance, how much love impact a life of a person? I think a life without love, without social connection, I don't think is the way of is not the best way of that you can reach your goals. Yeah, maybe your goal is to make money, but life without love, without the person that you can share about, the success is still even a success. If you are the luckiest and the most rich person in the world, but you cannot share the success with anybody, does you feel still does that type of success? So in the end, we always came back to the same question: to be loved and to be desired. So the lucky person always going around to be with other people, and I think all those persons from Indonesia, from Africa, from Latin America, they are happy with nothing. You see them like they maybe work 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, but once they come back home with their own family, with their own son, daughter, they are the most happiest person. So I think, again, life is the meaning we give, but I think the main ingredient and the secret ingredient is love. This is for sure the ingredient we need to have almost in every life because it can give us a prospect and it is still, I say, is not the destination but is the journey of living life with the people you care about. I cannot hear. I cannot hear you.
Sorry, it's like sometimes like this goes away.
Yeah.
I was just saying that I agree with you that life without love, it's just like it's always missing something. So we are reaching like the end of your time. I still have like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, but I like to do like these final questions that are I like to call them like curveballs. So like they are like short with short answers, or like not very developed answers, but I like to do this question that is like do you have something in your life that you'll never do it again?
I have an action, you mean?
Something in your life that you say like, okay, I'm not gonna do this again.
Yeah. And is to betray.
Betray.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I think uh, I think the most important quality a man can have in his life is the quality of the word he says. So before almost everything about, I think the most important quality is the trust. If I trust you, that means everything will be good because you're already my friends. So the quality of betray is something that we don't share about. A lot of people maybe betray for shame. They betray their most intimate partner with other girls, other guys, maybe. I think to be betrayed and to betray gives you an overview general about what it because if you betray you don't understand, but if you got betrayed, life shift
Yeah, true.
completely.
You
It's a
develop
different,
a lot. True.
yeah. And so I did this when I was 15. I don't want to say this, but I didn't maintain my word with my friend. It was not so much deep. I didn't betray my girlfriend or my best friend betraying with the girls. I just said that I was betraying him for the trust. I said them a lie. Once I got betrayed in my life, I understood how much pain they had. And so to strive to be a better man, always you fall, but you fall 7 times and you learn to pick yourself up 8 times. It doesn't care about how much pressure the world puts you on. It doesn't care about how much life will give you tremendous pain. I had the fascist planter for 2.5 years, but I still danced the most intense way in Lisbon because I was maintaining my words that year it was going to be the best year of my life. To be a man of words, I think, is the biggest quality a man can have.
And that's a very good answer. And my final question is always this that is what is the question that I haven't done that you would like to answer? Or do you have something, yeah, like do you have a question that you would like to answer that I haven't done it? Or do you have like something that you want to say that no one knows? Like normally I try to know like if there is a question, like that. I don't know, like you could say like, oh, I would love you if you ask me this or you ask me that. Do you have that or no?
Yeah, of course I have it.
Okay.
I think it's going to be,
What was the question that you wanted me to do to you?
I think,
There are so
are
many.
you, yeah, yeah, yeah. But are you happy with who you are today and the life that shaped you? How much influence that he had you? But do you still believe that if you could come back in time 5 or 10 times before, 10 times ago, 10 years ago, would you do the same action that you do today and you did in the past? I think that question will be. I always thought about this question.
Okay.
Like,
But
I'm going to be very short answer, but
no,
I
because I
always.
want wait, because I want your answer for that. That's my final question for you now. The
Oh,
question that you have done, like that you wanted me to do to you, that's your question. Now you have time to reply to that. And you end your time on that.
okay. So in this conversation we had in this podcast, I talked a lot. Maybe this was my first time that I was sharing so much about
No
my life
problem.
in general, about who I am, because I'm a very private person. People they don't know, but in reality, I'm very, very extremely private in almost everything that I do. I always try to be shy, not shy, but in the way of be quiet about who I am. So I always show myself my authenticity that I select. So I show the best version of myself. But to myself, the question that I wanted to ask is that I did an enormous effort to be so much gentle with myself, to be so much in flow with the person I am today. Because people maybe they don't understand, but believe me, I had all the reason to be a really bad person, all the reason to become the most unfamous, the most worst guy ever. But I always choose to push myself to be a greater man. And, you know, I think the world and the people, they don't know that the world has not always been kind to me. This is very, very hard to say. And this is maybe the most vulnerable thing I'm going to say in this topic. I had a lot of challenges, a lot. But I was so much brave that I still think that it's so much extraordinary to remain so much kind and almost to bloom like a flower in the stones or in the road against all the pressure about all the bad things that happened to me, but still decided to be myself in a world that were trying so much to change me, were trying to push me to become a bad person, to smoke, to be a betrayal, to lie to my friends, to take advantage of other person. You know, I really care about the quality of my interaction with people. So I think my one of my last thing I'm going to say is that there is no greater rebellion than to hold out your hand despite the bruises and smile back when bears its teeth. Is one thing that I wrote in my diary. I keep it in my computer,
Okay.
and it's very great that you asked me because I kept it back, and I think it is extraordinary to remain Pepin and to remain Giuseppe when the world wanted to be just a number, when the world just wanted to be a casual person. So to be authentic is the most biggest form of rebellion that you can be and you can have in the world. To live life according to your own value and to create meaning out of it. I think this is my final answer.
Okay, well, and you end with a lot of impact. So right now, like we are gonna change the papers. This is the time that I have like 5 minutes to answer like all your questions that you have. Like this will work very simply. Basically, at the end of the question, I will start the clock, and yeah, that's it. Wish me luck. When you are ready, just tell me the question, and we'll count like the 5 minutes, and after I will make like questions from the chat. Okay, because like we have like interesting ones over there, and yeah, I think like we are having like a good chat. So when you are ready,
So
tell
you
me.
want to make what type of question to you?
No, it's like 5 questions. You can do all the questions that you want, philosophical, more personal, everything. Like 5 minutes of questions if you want to ask me something.
Okay, I want to say a thing that since I've been with you, since I know you in Lisbon, I always feel the affinity we had together. I really appreciate that we could have this much sharing manhood, so almost a brotherhood that we push yourself to be a better person. You pushed me to be a better leader in the Pepino barbecue, and maybe I pushed you to become a better ESN member to the president and to create all the organization. Maybe that shaped in your life today. So I want to ask you if the person that you were 1 or 2 years ago got influenced by all those impact and all the words that they said, because maybe the guest in this case always talks a lot, talks a lot, talks a lot, and out of 100 words he says you maybe remember 2 or 3. But the thing that I always noticed about you is that you really listen when people talks, you really care. So I wanted to say, what was the most impact I had maybe in your life, and how I shaped you in who you become today?
Uh, like the time started. So I don't know if you want like a moment specifically or like a sentence, but I can start with
Choose
the
three.
no with the sentence is like the question that I did to you, the 5 years from now. That was very impactful. That was one of the most impactful things for me, because of course like everyone has goals, but I didn't think about like a time for my goal. It's not like I'm running against the clock, but putting like a time on the things, like on the how do you see yourself in 5 years? I think it's like such a mind blowing question, and you were the first person that did me this. Wait, let me just put some light. Let me illuminate myself to this question. So, wait, more. Yeah. So,
Fantastic.
basically, that was like I did this question to you because it was one of most impactful questions that you did in it was the one day that was being very hard for me because my personal life, and like we were speaking like about life, and one thing that I admirate on you, it's like on that day you said like, do you want me like to speak or do you want me to listen, and that that was like a very big impact on me, and that's the reason why I say like to you like that when you are asking if I'm okay, it's like you want to know if I'm really okay, and I like it a lot. And yeah, I know that I did this question to you, but one of the things that with like the thing that I remember like with one of the most impact is it was this question. This make me like even like these decisions that I've done and everything, that right now like when I'm doing my life right now I don't think like 5 years what I'm gonna do, I think in four, because I'm already here since 1 year ago. So we have like this conversation. But this is very good, because uh, like you have the goal, but you you have a vision of yourself in the future, and at the end gives you a lot of of positivity. For me as well, like you're speaking in the beginning, I think like we matched like so much, and we had like the opportunity to share so much because of energy is the same, like energy attracts energy. And uh like yeah, it was like meant to be, like we were meant to like to know each other, on the sense of like we are just like very good energies like colliding together, and could be just like an amazing experience from that. And yeah, that's one of the memories that I have, like on that very hard day when like you seated with me, and we had like an amazing day. Like we went to the beach, and after like we went like to dinner. Like that was like the dinner, the crazy dinner with Faisal, like on the Arabic restaurant.
Oh my
No, it
God,
was
that's
imagine.
we had a lot.
Yeah,
We
it was
had
a day. No, but it was a day that for me, like it's like started as shit. Like I was very bad, like for something that like that happened before, and like that was happening with my life, and you just like give me like a like that updates. And for me, like yeah, that's like the thing like that with the most impact. Like we share like a lot of opinions, like we share like a lot of personal life, a lot of like histories. And one thing that I admire in you as well is like for your age you have a lot of maturity. I told you that before, and I still have
you.
like the same opinion. And yeah, like the thing that's I remember like with that most impact is like when you look at me and like we're saying, okay, do you want me to speak or to listen? And after like you do like, okay, like so you are saying this, you are saying that, like life this, life that, like you are right now like this. How do you see yourself in 5 years? And that gives very very good force for me. That's the reason I did like to do this question for you.
Wow, that's a fantastic answer. I didn't expect this type of answer. I want to say that the biggest privilege I had in our friendship was that I felt I could trust you. Like when there is so much affinity with a person, the biggest and I think the most beautiful thing you can do is to be trusted and to trust.
Yeah.
If a person trusts you, is more than he gives you part of his life. He opens your heart and he tells you, okay, I share my vulnerability, I share who I am. You have the knife. You decide if you can cut me or you can help me. And the thing is that you gave me a lot of moments to share yourself, your vision of life, your authenticity, and you always trust me. And for me, this was a privilege to be trusted. I think to be trusted is almost the same as to be loved, as this perform the same impact.
I think for me like be trusted and be loved, like for me it's the same, because it's like you said, like loving or trust is give you like it's give you a grenade to a person, trusting that she's not gonna throw to you. It's like give you without like knowing that that you will be blown, that you will be destroyed. And just one thing, like this is the last answer, because like the time finished while you were doing. But to tell you that and sometimes and for me like we like love is is giving like without expecting anything in exchange. And I give it this because first I believe that you're not gonna destroy me, of course, because like you need like before giving something, like you need to be conscious you're not gonna give um like something that is you, that is so important to to someone to blow it. So like you're gonna like I'm like when I give my trust, my love, my consideration, I give to person that I feel that they they can keep it. And but it's, for me, like, it's normal that sometimes like one or two people will destroy it. And for me, like, I learned that, like, with my life, that is something that like, even if you could predict it, you cannot predict it. Like, in the sense of you, like, just living is what makes you know really what's how are the people, or like what people want. And sometimes, like, they blow you, like, not on purpose, but sometimes they destroy you. And in your case, like, I felt like the confidence to for this, because I felt that when you give this, like, when you give, like, this grenade, when you give, like, this vulnerability, first, um, you are getting stronger, because you are learning with your vulnerability. You know, like, you are exposing something, so, like, you know how to expose it. You need to understand how to expose it, and you need, like, to control it, because sometimes you can blow yourself. You don't need, like, to be like someone, like, to blow you, like someone, like, sometimes, like, you have, like, a relationship that destroy, because, like, like, the person is destroying it. It's not like the other part, you know. And with you, I felt that I could give you this, and I could learn with this, because we learn with our experience and with the others. And when we start, like, to share stuff, like, we share good moments, but we share bad moments. We share, like, vulnerability, like, not of
I think
disorder, but
the thing that you said here is the summary of our friendship. So most of the people define friends for just the good times, you know, living, they have fun, they are enjoying the moment. But once the difficulty happens, maybe you share vulnerability, they look you very bad and say, no, please, I don't want to hear your problems. So those person, are they really your friends? A person that cannot you cannot count when bad times happens, do they even have, and they can be defined as a friends? I have a says that goes, in victory, our friends know us, in defeat we know our friends. And so this explain everything that you said. So I knew and I saw how much trust you gave me in the moment that you said in January, this party is the best party that I had the experience to come, house party. I want to make a collaboration with you with ESN. You know, a person that okay, we knew each other, but like in a friends, not, we didn't know each other because it was January. We started to hang out in September, so it was very short time period.
mhm.
But in that moment, I understand what person you are, and that you push others to reach their dreams. So you project your own vision of your life in the other vision, on the other personalities.
Yeah.
And if I became the person who I am today, it's because I got influenced by all those persons like you. In particular, you did a lot of things for me. Without you, all the Pepino ESN, the 10x party of Pepino BBQ, we're not going to be there. So I always said to my friends, remember that you have a bigger impact than what you think in your life, in other people. Sometimes we think that we are not special. We think like the unicorn, the idea of unicorn. People say, why do you walk with unicorn? The idea is very simple. To be an extremely unlikely event to meet a unicorn. What is it? Like, could you ever imagine that you meet a unicorn one day? Almost impossible, because a unicorn is almost fantasy. Okay, but if you met a unicorn, that means that you met one out of 5 billion possible horse. So you met just the only one in your life. And this can apply both in your love life and also in the friendship life. So this says that goes, if you met a friend, you met a treasury. It's true.
Yeah, true.
It's true. Because just one person can have so much impact, so much influence in your life, and it can directly shape the entire trajectory of your destiny. So your destiny, sometimes we think that is a static. So it is already written. I believe it is already written. But with the exception that if you work so much in your dreams and you are with ambitious people and the people you love, you can change for who you are destined to be. And maybe the prophecy, the reaching the stars, everything was already known. Everybody knows that you are going to arrive. But they wanted to believe that you could not arrive, so you were believing that you were not destined to reach your dreams. So to believe that you are loved and to believe that you have more impact and to believe that you are unicorn is the greatest thing that you can do. To be trusted and to be loved. To be a unicorn in your life. So you need to be not only the main character, not only the writer of your story, but you also need to be so much authentic, so much unique that if a person meets you, he thinks that you are a unicorn. So much rare to find that is a treasury to have.
No, that's very good, and I think like we ended like very good round of questions from our part. So right now, like I'm gonna give like 5 minutes like for the chat like to do some questions. I will start with the question that I felt that was very good. I swear, like it's from Borzi underscore 47. That's a very good question. That is like what like that's the question that I was saving here. That is like what today Giuseppe would say to the past Giuseppe. 5 minutes.
Holding on. Holding on. The only thing I can say, and truly represent my philosophy of life, is to believe that something greater will happen. If you believe that life is just bad, life doesn't have nothing to give you, you will accept the defeat. In reality, you need to keep a fight. Life is a fight, is a war about who you are and what the world wants you to be. So you need to be ready to fight with all your resource, all your mental energy to be the person you are destined to be and to not let anybody else decide who you want to be. So as the thing that I said in the beginning, if I could meet my young Peppino, my young Giuseppe, I would say, Giuseppe, you are going to have so much challenges. You are going to have so much trials. You are going to have a lot of moments where you even say, "Why do I want to do this? Why I'm doing this? Why do I keep continuing to suffer? What is the meaning?" So I will say to him, if I could met maybe the version of Peppino that when he was 14 years old, that he had all the philosophy maybe that he has now, per aspera dust. And I live in that moment in the room. I just say, keep believing that with all the hardship, one day you will reach the stars, and you will also give the opportunity of all the people you love, your family, to come with you to a better place. So the idea of choosing your own values and to still reject the mediocrity and the normality. I don't like even the term of normality because the normality means that there is usually a standard of people. There is good people and bad people. You just need to be a better person than who you were yesterday. That's the only thing that matters in life. And what you can give to the society. So even if I had all the injury, even if I got my heart broken a lot of times, I got betrayed, even if I had a lot of challenge with university, with school, even if all the world is crumbled in this moment, I will still say there is light in the darkness. And the light is you. this is the most crazy thing to say to my younger self. That maybe the light you are searching in the other people is you light that you are projecting the other. So sometimes we think that if I go with him, if he helps me, but why? I cannot help me. I cannot be a better person. So to be your own light, so you can guide others,
I think
you become the hero of your story.
and like before, I just wanted like to tell this, and but I'm gonna take the opportunity like to tell it now because like comes in the same. That is a lot of times like there are big barriers. This is like something that Gabi like said on the last podcast, but I enjoy it a lot. That first like you are your own enemy. Like you are the only one that avoid you to go wherever you want to go. Because if you think like a real man, that a man that is free is a man that is not sorry a man is free when he does what he doesn't want to do. So like if for example, if you don't want to study but you know that study is good for you, you are gonna study even if you don't want, because you know that is better for you. And this applies for all in your life. If you have a place that you see that is better for you but you don't do any effort, you are not being free, you are being like slave from your procrastination. So every time that you feel like some barriers, remember like first to be good with yourself, to surpass them, to embrace them and surpass them, and after just go with the flow. Don't stop yourself. Believe in you. If it's something that you believe that is good for you, just go for it. Because I feel that like, and I can apply like this for you, Pepino. For example, like when you were saying that you had all the reasons to like to be sorry like the time, but there is just this question. It's okay, like the chat haven't done any other question, but just to tell like as you were saying, like I had like all the reasons to be bad. I was betrayed like in love, on friendship, like the all the problems that you had in life, and like you still wanted to be good. No one forced you to be. It was you that overcome your bad experiences. So that's my yeah, that I just like wanted like to finish with this and to tell like that pain, you feel it now, proud, you feel it forever. So
That's a very
remember like
fantastic.
something that can like that you can see that is like it's hurting you now, that is making you like suffering, but in a good way, that you see that's something good for you but is making like suffer, makes you go out of the bed, makes you fight, makes you be a better person, but gives uh gives pain, like gives effort. It's temporary, but like a reward, like proud, it's forever. And that's the
Wow,
reason why I just remember the good things.
that's a fantastic way of saying the good things, and it's a perfect ending. I always like before like getting too close because I understand that we reached the end.
Bro, we do it like 2 hours of
Wow,
podcast,
wow! Like,
one
it
hour
was
and
like
50 of a
it was a
podcast that was like 35 minutes.
it was fantastic way
No, of
of
course.
talking to you and to understand also you in a better position, because when you ask very authentic question you get a very authentic answer. I was thinking for example about the albatross,
Yeah.
albatross is a poetry, is about the poet Baudelaire, a French author, that he talks about life, that he feel like he is like an albatross, that in this moment this albatross that is a bird, a very big bird that he lives in the sea, in the ocean, he usually have very big
Wings.
wings, and in this way the bird got captured in a ship. the salesman want to take advantage and they mock him because he cannot walk really good in the cage, because he has those wings that in the sea he dominates the world. He has his own identity, but in the cage he feels so much goofy. He feels so much like a clown. So I love this poesy because that means in the end he says, Baudelaire, that the poet is like the albatross, that in the world of material things, in the world that people they don't understand you, you got mocked by your vision, your dreams. But if you believe that you can fly, you have the courage to dare yourself to escape the cage that the salesman put you in, and you decide to open your wings, you will understand that you were not born to walk, you were born to fly. So the environment about the people we met, the environment about the people we share our life is everything. We need to live not in a cage, we need to live in the sky, we need to live in the sea. So for this reason, I always say to people, you need to believe that there's something greater. You need to believe that you can actually fly. And the most biggest thing that you can say to a person if you want to really help is that I cannot help you. I cannot help you if you don't help yourself. I can give you the input, but you're the person that decide to make the output. So even if you love a person, you cannot launch and he will fly. He needs to decide that he flies. He needs to believe that he can fly. So the biggest thing that you can do to a person is to make them believe that they can actually do things. They can actually reach the stars.
Yeah, and I think that's like a very good end, like for us. Pepe, it was a pleasure to have you here.
Philip, it
Like
was amazing.
I wanted like this like since a long it was like you were like one of the first persons that I thought like when I thought about like this project. Don't worry like about like this thing about like the time like um this will this is normal, you know, because like we are speaking like and we are speaking with our hearts, and sometimes speaking with the heart doesn't like the doesn't have like any specific time. Sometimes we're just like saying like the things out of our mind. We are just need time like to do like our philosophical ways, and it's completely normal. Like it was very good. It was like a very pleasure like to listen you, to have you here. I knew that that will be very good, and it was very good to have you here, like and to have you in general.
Philip, it was amazing. It is my first time that I've been in a podcast in my life. I wanted to have the chance to talk about what we live together, like in a friendship way. And this, I think, it was the greatest opportunity you could give me to talk to not only to you and also recorded, so maybe in the future we can remember this conversation, but also to an audience.
No, it was
So,
very a lot of
we,
people like came to watch you. Like you have a
yeah,
lot of comments. Yeah, for sure. Like by far, you are like the person here that has a lot of comments. Like more comments here. Like you
yeah,
have a lot of people that came. You have like a lot. I love you. You have Faisal on the chat that he will come here as well. You have like Marcio that
yeah.
came
I'm
on
a
this.
lucky person for my friends. Giovanni, I say hi to Giovanni.
Now you have a lot of people that came, and it's very good that.
Say
Uh,
hi to Faisal and
and yeah,
Felipe.
like
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say
go.
goodbye for everyone.
Yeah,
And
I want to really thank you for the opportunity because it was my first time ever to have the chance to talk in so much large audience. Because Pepino BBQ I talk but in a message way. You know, when I was sending the message, I could say you need to do this, like not you need, like you need to believe there is something greater. At the end of every party, I was giving and sending a big message where I was sending to my friends and to love the one the belief that we can do something together. And today we can express this together with you. And for me, really, I appreciate a lot that you thought about me, all the life we shared from since almost, it has been 2 years that the journey of Lisbon started. And since I met you, I literally changed my life. You gave me the chance to reach my stars in my life. I hope that I also contributed to make
Yes.
you reach your
No,
stars.
that's true for sure.
Yeah,
To be
a
like
true brotherhood, so I could say. And I just say for the last thing, ad astra,
Arastra.
to the stars, to the
Exactly.
stars, always.
And now we finish like this. Thank you guys. Don't forget like, subscribe, follow, like our channels, and see you next Tuesday for a new amazing episode. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, guys.